What's going on, guys? In the classroom today, taking a look at some footage of Rafa Nadal in the far court. That's him running around. And we are talking about a pattern that we refer to as cooking the chicken. Stop, don't make it weird. Cooking the chicken. We're talking about taking the legs from your opponent, exhausting them, moving them side from side. But one of the things that I think is really important to demonstrate here, to show you, to illustrate, better word there, is the margin for error in which Rafa is playing. I think sometimes we have this misconception that the pros are just hitting lines, that they have that much control. They do when they need to on a really tough passing shot, but ultimately it's about keeping the percentages on their side. All right, so let's jump right into this. Right out of the gates, on the deuce court, we all know the pattern, right? Rafa is going to play to the body here, right? What he wants is to centralize his forehand, right? So as soon as he's on right of center, he's getting the best opportunity to find his forehand. I'm not sure who this player is, and if you know, let me know. If you recognize his style, obviously a professional player, very good in this practice, and as you'll see, this is just an absolute phenomenal point. All right, but so Rafa gets his forehand, and now my man is off to the races. All right, and the reason this is important, we talk about serve plus one, I'll go back for just a moment here, is just look at this differential. Right, so Rafa has the choice now. He could play behind him or into the open court. Chooses to play into the open court, and this is when the fun begins. But this is where the lesson begins and the fun begins for Rafa. That's the tennis ball right there. All right, so remember in another video we talked about the 4x4 rule, and the 4x4 rule is playing at least 4 feet away from the single sideline if you're playing singles, obviously the double sideline if you're playing doubles, and then 4 feet above the net. And we're gonna see Rafa do this in just typical Rafa form, taking the legs away from his opponent without taking much risk. All right, so from here, got his opponent, we'll just call him player B since we don't know, well behind the baseline and well off the court. Now this is a critical error. A lot of recreational players make this mistake to where they play the ball down the line out of position. All right, and the problem is that we can see here, by playing that ball out of position, look at all this court that has to be covered. It's an absolute ton. So why does he play the ball to the backhand down the line? He's trying to find Rafa's backhand. He doesn't want to be in that pattern. Once he's being smothered by Rafa's forehand, there's very, very little chance of winning the point, so he takes a risk going up the line. But what that means is Rafa then gets to play to the open court. Again, 4x4, nowhere near the lines, and he's still in complete control of the point. All right, so here, player B outside of the single sideline. So Rafa then pulls him to the far side of the court. Now, this is cooking the chicken. This is what we're talking about. Player B has done 3, maybe 4, lost count there, 40-yard dashes. His legs are gone. He's cooking, marinating, right? Like, we're gonna let that chicken marinate, right? So from here, pretty good chip. And now a lot of times, we see this as recreational players, we're going for it. This guy has, made 4 great gets. We're going for the ball. It's not necessary. Keep on it. Keep wearing him out. We're not talking about 1 point here. We're talking about a point that may be worth 10 points if you can really get somebody's legs and do this continuously. So plays behind him, wrong foots him. Again, then we see it down the line backhand, and then Rafa plays to the open court. Now this is the golden position. This is where we want our opponent. All right. What you're going to see here is a complete, I know we can't see his legs, but you're going to see a complete open stance forehand. So this is just as defensive as it could be. His chest is completely forward, and he kind of has to go for it here. He either has to come up with a great shot or the point is lost. And he does. He comes up with the goods here. Down the line, it's a good shot. He actually puts Rafa a little bit defensive here. All right. But Rafa's position is so good. I'm just going back here for just 1 second. Because here, why does Rafa stay on the deuce court? Because this is the new middle, and I think this is important here. From here, the most likely shot is for player B's shot to come back cross court. So he splits the difference, right? He still defends the cross court, but he's got plenty of time to play to this side as well. All right, player B hits a great shot. Rafa plays cross court, but hits short. Now what's happened now is this gentleman has played a lot of tennis running back and forth, and he doesn't hit a particularly bad approach, but Rafa just goes to work, right? And this is where it gets fun. I'll let this play through. We'll go a little slow-mo here because this is fantastic. Rafa goes behind him. What an incredible diving get. Rafa comes in to finish it up, all right? So for most of us, we're not going to be playing opponents that are diving, right, and making plays. This point was over long ago, 3 or 4 shots back. But the main takeaway here is the margin in which we see Rafa playing. He's not playing near the lines, and he's still getting, oh, that's a horrible line. He's still getting the same results, right? There's no reason to play in this sector or on the outside, right? Now, you can play, if you're going to play with depth, or if you want to play towards the line, depth that's going to be your best friend here. But even if Rafa's ball hits where this line is, as heavy as it is, still plenty of depth. All right, but this is where we really want to stay away from. We don't want to play out here. Okay, we want to keep the ball away from the lines, and we can still absolutely wear our opponents out by playing into the open court and playing behind them. That is cooking the chicken, and that is obeying the 4x4 rule. Guys, really hope this helps. If it did, leave a comment. Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts were. Maybe you tried it in a match, later in the day, and it really helps. Let me know. Like, communicate with me. Or maybe you're trying and you just don't have that control. I'll point to some other videos that will help with consistency, topspin, all that good stuff. If you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do, and share it. Help a buddy out, right? Like, sharing videos helps us out a ton, helps the business out. And if you check in the comment section, you can find a free link, or a link for a free trial to the platform at PlayYourCourt, where we link you with players of the same skill ability for practice and match play. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.